Welcome back, college baseball fans, for another episode of the College Baseball Show live. Insanity in the World Series here, man. Recap game one. Jared Perkins with me. I'm your host, Mark Allen. Jared, just chaos, man. Just chaos, and that's what Oklahoma continues to create.
I know. I think Dayton Lachance said it in the post game presser that they could beat everybody, including the Yankees right now. Starting to think it's true. I mean, it just seems like no matter what's put in their front of them, they're just going to dominate. It's insane to watch the run that they've been on. It's awesome.
It feels like no matter what choice Skip Johnson makes, it's the right one right now. It feels like he goes out there to remove his pitcher from the game, can't remove him, and then he gets a strikeout after going 2-0 on the guy. It's like whatever choices he makes, they're the right ones right now. Insanity, Jared. Let's talk about the first inning because this is really where this thing got going.
Yeah.
Lachance hits that huge home run for Oklahoma in the first, and it's like, oh boy. DeCaro left a hanging changeup, and he hasn't done that a lot. He's thrown the changeup less than 15% to right-handed hitters. Throws one there against Lachance, and he hits it out of the ballpark pretty easily. And you're like, oh boy, here we go. North Carolina flips the script and decides that they're going to go out there and score 3 in the bottom half. I thought for sure, I'm like, okay, Oklahoma doesn't have the bullpen arms kind of last this storm. If they get through this and Rager can't go any further, this is a tough one. It just doesn't matter right now for Oklahoma. They just keep pounding back, man.
Yeah. I was with you. Like Gavin Gallagher, Captain Carolina, comes through, gives him the lead. I'm like, all right, this is it. This is Carolina's game. They got Jason DeCaro on the bump. No way Oklahoma's coming back in this one. Like Carolina's going to run and smooth sailing and then just shut out baseball for the next 8 innings. The Oklahoma pitching staff stepped up. Corey Rager, I mean, I was looking at it. I posted a stat that he has gone 3 6-innings plus outings in the postseason. The only guys that ever gotten 4, Paul Skeens and Cade Anderson, I think. It's just insane what he's done. And he was an inning short of going 6 innings again in this one. So he came up 1 inning short, just absolutely dominant. I wouldn't say dominated. He gave up 3 earned, but he kept his team in this game. Like after the first inning and where he had some hiccups, so you're like, okay, is Skip Johnson going to go get him early? No, he trusts his guy. Rager goes out there, goes 4 more scoreless innings for him, turns it over to the bullpen, and then it just lights out from there.
Yeah, 31 pitches in that first inning, and I'm going, that's too much. And then he goes out there, he's able to give you 100, 60 for strikes, which he was having a hard time locating the fastball in the first inning. And the lefties for Carolina were locked in. And, you know, hats off to Schaffner and Hull early. And you know, those guys did the job, but they just didn't keep producing. Like Schaffner had 3 hits on the day. He kept putting the ball in play and kept doing his thing. The rest of the team just didn't show up. I mean, honestly, when I said in the preview show that we just filmed, I said, hey, the bottom of the lineup for Carolina has to step up, Jared. 1 for 13 with a sac fly is not stepping up. That's not going to do it. They even pinch hit. They brought in Kellis like, hey, we need something else. Let's try something else. He goes 0 for 2. Like, they just not even like not hitting the ball, but also not putting the ball in play and not making productive outs. Like the 1 sac fly from Heineck, and he did have a hit also. Like that was their production. Everybody else down there, nothing.
Yeah. I mean, you talked about it. Heineck had the 1 hit, right? From Nicholson, though, on. There was no hits except for the Heineck hit, right? And you're looking at your 5-hole guy basically down to 9. Like you can't have that much of your lineup just absolutely kind of get dominated there. And I think the big story here is just like what the Oklahoma bullpen did in this one, right? It was super, super impressive. Gavin Jones, absolutely incredible. Hasn't pitched all month. Goes 2 1/3, 2 hits, 4 Ks, no runs, 1 walk. I mean, like Skip saw him. He's like, go get him, and then like he kept him in the game. Everybody's like, okay, he's done after 1 inning. Nope, went out another inning and a third, just absolutely dominated. He even came out at one point, like you mentioned, where LJ, they thought they were going to bring him in the game. They're like, nope, never mind. Jones gets the out that he needs to get out. Mercurius takes over, goes an inning and 2/3, 2 strikeouts, no hits, no runs. Like, you have to give props to this Oklahoma bullpen. And like what Skip Johnson has done, like you talked about it on the preview show, basically took that entire rotation, flipped it on its head, kept Cord in it, but then went to 2 other freshmen that he put into the rotation. And LJ has been fantastic out of the bullpen for them.
Yeah. It's a miracle worker, honestly, because LJ, we saw the same thing we saw at the beginning of the year where he was dominant and the changeup was filthy and falling off the table. That's what we're seeing again. That changeup is unhittable right now, especially the left-handed hitters. They have no chance of hitting that thing, and it is breaking hard and away from them, and they are just lost. And, you know, he goes out there to take Jones out after the 2 balls in that inning, and the umpire's like, yeah, you can't take him out because he started the inning. And Nobody knew that. Like Skip didn't know
Yeah.
that. All of us were like, why couldn't he make the change? That was the reason, because if a pitcher comes out and starts the inning, he must finish that batter unless he gets hurt. Unless there's an injury, then you can pull him. So he goes out there 2-0 and ends up going 3-0 and then strikes him out. Like, what are we talking about here? This guy goes out there, hasn't pitched in a month, going to work through some adversity on the mound for himself, knows it's his last batter, gasses up and gets the strikeout, and then they go to LJ. LJ only threw 24 pitches. This is massive for Oklahoma to be able to go 2 1/3 with Jones there and kind of bridge that gap. Now they get LJ still. They got some other bullpen. They didn't use Cleveland at all. So they still have their arm pieces. And Xander has been fantastic. This all lines up to Sooner Nation now. Skip is just treated as supposed to be like a fishing trip. Yeah. And I honestly, Skip told me, he goes, hey, what did I learn from previous coaches? What did I learn from Stoops and some of these guys that have been in Oklahoma of intervals? Get out of the way and let these guys play. And that's what he's doing. I mean, there was a count when Dayton Lachance hits that home run to tie the ball game up. He gets beat with 2 fastballs at his chest. And then DeCaro throws a fastball 95 miles an hour at his eyeballs and he hits it out of the ballpark. Like, there's nothing this team can do wrong, Jared.
It's crazy looking at DeCaro's line. 3 2/3, 7 earned, 6 Ks, 4 extra base hits, 2 doubles, and 2 home runs. Like, that's nuts. And you look at the strikeouts, like the strikeout stuff was there, but they were just getting to him when he made mistakes. And they were absolutely pulverizing the baseball. And it's impressive, man. Like, you do that to a guy like Jason DeCaro, who's been in Friday Night Ace for North Carolina. No matter who he's faced, he's dominated. He did it against Ole Miss in the College World Series. Like, DeCaro has gone out there and has been consistent, quality start after quality start, and Oklahoma made him look like he was like maybe not even a Sunday guy for this rotation. It's kind of insane. And like, you have to give props to the Sooners. I think it's not really a knock on DeCaro. He probably tried to go out there with his best stuff, and it's just he got beat by a better team.
Yeah, and Oklahoma 14 hits. Like, they came out slugging, they came out hitting, they did the right things. Walker McDuffie comes in. He hasn't been touched all postseason. And he gets lit up a little bit. Like, he gets hit a little bit, and you're like, well, that's our second best reliever. Where are we gonna go now? Like, what do we turn to? I'm glad. I think that was a good idea for Forbes to get him out after that. Like, hey, he got a little bit of work now. We're gonna pull him because we're gonna need him to. If we're gonna make a run there, we're gonna need him game 3. So we're gonna need him at some point in game 3. They gotta go Lynch, Glauber now tomorrow. Like, I know that you want to try to think about what you can do for game 3. What do you arms? You have no choice. You have to go Lynch and Glauber now. You have to go those.
Glauber's probably going to go back-to-back days. I wouldn't be shocked.
He's going to have to. Yeah, he's going to have to. I would assume so for this team to be successful. They're going to hope to get a long start from Lynch, which they did not get originally in this tournament already from him. They're going to need a better start from him. They're going to need him to go and eat up some innings. So, North Carolina hitters, Jared, they got to turn this thing around. And now they get a righty, which they've hit lefties better in the postseason. So that even scares me more. The fact is that, Schaffner and Hull get those hits. Gallagher gets a hit. Paulson gets a hit. It was dead after that. I mean, it was really just a dead lineup. There's just not competitive at bats right now.
We talked about like this kind of Carolina offense being able to play well in this stadium. And they have most of the College World Series, but like you've talked about, it's very top heavy, right? After Paulson, there's a kind of a big drop off in terms of what you're going to get from production. Like Nicholson, like you mentioned on the last podcast, he's come through in the big moments that he just needed to. Heineck here and there has kind of stepped up, but like Mac and Winslow hasn't been great from the bottom of the lineup. Carter French has been decent. Like he's performed this College World Series. He's been consistent, but he hasn't been like a steady, huge run producer. So, Spencer just said in the comments, Owen Hall went quiet after that first up. He's 1 for 5. He just didn't show up. I'm a little concerned because like Ryan Lynch wasn't fantastic in his last start, but I will say that he has been consistent, really good during the postseason. I think he's got barely over a 3 ERA. So like you feel pretty good about him going out there to give yourself a shot to even this up 1-1.
Yeah. And Colton, you're correct. Boomer Sooner, man. Those guys came out. They banged the baseball. Like this is something I just didn't think we would see after DeCaro. Like after the Lachance home run, like he hits the second one. You're like, okay, this guy's a freak. He's unbelievably talented. And that's where the offense has come from for this guys. Branch gets his first hit of the World Series, and it ends up being a two-run single. Walk gets a hit in that fourth, and then Johnson gets a hit in that fourth. And you're like, all of a sudden, 7 earned runs off to DeCaro. He hadn't given up 5 in a game, Jason or Jared. He hadn't given up 5. And we're like, Jason DeCaro's been so unhittable all season. Like, eventually he's going to figure this out and get through this lineup and get through 6 innings, and we're going to be seeing that same role. He just never got going. And then the offense never helped him out after the first inning. They didn't do anything post-first inning there for North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, what this Oklahoma offense has done since the postseason has began is kind of insane. We talked about it going into. We're like, Georgia Tech's going to cakewalk through this regional. They're going to be able to really take it to the teams in this regional, and the offense did not shut off since that regional started. Oklahoma's been absolutely insane. And it's just been impressive to watch what they've been doing. Like you said, Dayton Lachance, like I don't think Jason Walk gets enough credit for what he's done at the top of this lineup. 2 for 5 today with 2 RBIs. He's been absolutely incredible. Gamble stepped up. Desan Harris has really, really showcased what he can do on this baseball field. Like it's been impressive. And like Camden Johnson, you have like one of a top draft prospect right there at the top of your lineup as well. And so it's just really, really, really impressive. And again, another guy, Jackson Willits, that I didn't mention, also has been really good for this team during the postseason. So top to bottom, we talked about like the depth of North Carolina not having their 5 through 9 guys show up, and 5 through 9 guys have really been showing up for Oklahoma.
This is the team, Jared, that hit 270 during SEC play. 270.
Yeah.
And they're hitting 335 in the postseason, and they have 28 home runs in 11 games. Like they're doing all the things that we thought they could have done during the regular season. The offense never clicked. Now they're clicking. Now this team's scary. And I said, hey, this team's scary. I still thought North Carolina was the better team coming into it. Now I'm really frightened if I'm a North Carolina fan. You are in a real bad spot. And 14 of the last 22 national champions have won game 1. This puts Oklahoma in a huge position now moving forward. And Xander, like, let's talk about that matchup tomorrow. Xander and Ryan Lynch. A month ago, I would have said, oh, this is a Ryan Lynch all day. He's 1B for this North Carolina team. He's the dude. I am leaning towards Xander the way he's thrown. That fastball whiff rate over 40% against Georgia, that's insane, man.
I mean, what he's done in the last 2 starts, 4 innings, 1 earned, 6 Ks against Kansas, 7 1/3, 3 earned, I believe, and 9 Ks against Georgia. So, like
3 solo shots.
He's been awesome. Like the only game he struggled was against Georgia Tech, and that's like one of the best lineups in the country, and he still struck out 8 over 5 2/3 innings. So he gave up 5 earned.
2/3. Yeah.
It's still against the Tech lineup that you could argue was arguably the second best lineup in the entire country behind Georgia. Like you would probably argue that Georgia Tech's the number 1 lineup in the country and Georgia's number 2. So it's just like the fact that he was able to kind of give them that depth, that length of a start against a team like that. And he's faced Georgia Tech and Georgia. I just talked about them being 1 and 2 in offenses, and he's pitched well against both in the last 3 starts. So you got to feel good if you're Skip Johnson throwing that kid out there. And he didn't start in the rotation until May 15th.
Well, they were ready for SEC tournament. Like, that's craziness.
Yeah.
Like, just to say, hey, you're going to get, all your starts are basically going to come in the postseason, and we need you to be a dude. And we're going to move your brother to the bullpen. And oh, by the way, he's going to be a stud out of the bullpen for you as well.
And he's got another under 1 whip out of the bullpen, LJ.
Yeah. Just – like I said, it feels like whatever Skip's doing, like the marionette, he's moving the pieces and they're all working for him. But it's unreal right now. Move this game up tomorrow. So tomorrow's game, we saw the rain coming down tonight. They moved the weather up because of weather tomorrow as well. So the game's going to start at 11:30 Pacific time, 2:30 Eastern. Make sure you folks are tuning into that one. Jared, what does North Carolina do to win this thing? I mean, obviously they need Lynch to go long and they need to start finding some offense against Xander.
They need Lynch Glauber. That's it. Like they need Lynch Glauber to finally shut down this Oklahoma lineup. I don't know if it's possible, but they need those 2 guys to come out. And I talked about how like this Oklahoma rotation is probably the X factor, and it's like they need to get to Xander and they need Lynch and Glauber to really dominate. Like the lineup needs to get to Xander early, so they don't give him confidence to make it through another 6-7 innings where he only gives up 2 or 3 earned runs.
Yeah, I mean we saw Caden Aoki. Well, he didn't get the win. He did shut this lineup down. He slowed this lineup down, and that wind was blowing out hard that day that happened. So, I think there's a chance and where Lynch can come out and be a dude. One, he didn't throw a ton of pitches in his first start, so he's going to be really fresh here for this one. He's going to be set and ready to go. And his, their whole season career, college career is on the line here. Like there's some guys right now that'll never see the field again for the Carolina Tar Heels. They need to go out there and they need to band together and kind of go win this thing. So I think that they need the offense to go. Again, the bottom of the line has to do something. They have to come through at some point for them to win a national championship. I said it so hard this week. They have to do something. They haven't done it. They're going to have to step up and put pressure. At least get on base. At least do something. Get on base, force some issues. At least like Nicholson, where he didn't get a hit today, he had 2 walks still. So he still got on base. He's still forcing the issue. But then everybody after him is doing nothing. Heineck had the one hit and a sac fly. Nothing else. There's no production from the bottom line. They're getting into double plays. They're not hitting productive outs. It's not like they're moving guys around. They're literally doing nothing. We're gonna have to see something from this lineup to do. How does Oklahoma win this thing? I mean, just another brilliant start from Xander. I mean, he doesn't have to be perfect. He just has to be good.
Dayton Lachance staying red hot. Like, this is a guy who didn't have a homer in his first 31 games, and now he has 18 homers in 32. He went from is this guy even going to get drafted? Now he's a potential probably third rounder to fifth rounder in the MLB draft this year. Like,
could be pushing higher even into the second.
Yeah, like what he's been doing, and he's playing pretty well defensively behind the dish. Like, this is a guy who's just skyrocketed, and I feel like he's going to be the big X factor for them. If he can continue to stay this red hot, get to Ryan Lynch, and like continue to produce, and like the lineup will just go around him.
Yeah. No, it's going to be interesting. I just really think that this. I want to see a little bit of fight from North Carolina. I would hate for them to get 2-3 national championships in the last 20 years and not have even been close to winning one. I think that this would just be a wildness for them. So, and Oklahoma, just Skip Johnson. I don't know how many more times I can just tip the hat and say, I don't know what else he can do wrong. Like, the guy goes out there, he does everything right. And Spencer, Lachance is doing this on a hobbled ankle. He looked pretty good this week. But the fact is that he hurt that ankle in game one. He pretended like he doesn't. He kept telling us in the press, he kept going, my ankle's not hurt. What are you guys talking about? I didn't roll my ankle. That never happened. So I don't know. Maybe it's mind over matter, but the guy's tough as nails, and he's going out there and just bashing baseballs in this park. That really is hard to do.
Yeah, I was going to say to your Skip Johnson, it feels like he's pushing every button correctly, but it also felt like Forbes was doing that up until today, basically. It felt like every move Forbes was making was working. We talked about like when he had the mound meeting, or not the mound meetings, but the meetings with Gavin Gallagher, and he comes through and he gets the hit that he needs to get. Like, it felt like Forbes was pressing all those buttons as well. And I don't think there was really a button for Forbes press in this one. Like, they just got outplayed. And like Skip Johnson, again, made all the right moves, just had his guys looking good. Like, I just think Oklahoma was a better team today.
Yeah, and it just felt to slowly slip away from them in the fourth inning, because it felt like the North Carolina was still in the game even after the Lachance home run. You're like, okay, we're tied 3-3. We just need the offense to go. And then they just kind of kept putting on run after run and getting those 4 runs in the fourth inning. You're like, man, that happened fast. That snowballed all of a sudden. Now it's a 7-3 ball game, and it feels like it's unreachable because of the offense right now for North Carolina, where they weren't just not producing at the bottom.
Yeah,
I'm very interested to see what happens tomorrow, Jared.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it still could go either way, right? I still think this like. I think, what was it, you or Jason mentioned that it was going to be Carolina in 2. I think it was Jason.
I said we both did, and then he changed to Carolina in 3. So I'm wrong with my Carolina 2. The only person that could be possibly wrong.
I said Carolina in 3 too. So I just like I was talking to Peter about this because I added him to our staff picks, and I was like, "You're going OU, huh?" He goes, "You got to ride the hot hand," and I'm like, "Damn, he's not wrong at this point."
I know. I feel bad. I keep coming on the big podcast and saying all these things about North Carolina and saying, hey, it's great what Oklahoma's doing, but I'm still riding with, and I'm just wrong. Like, I don't know how many more times I'm going to be wrong, and North Carolina used me even in their hype video today. And it's like, man, even that's killing you guys. So I don't even know what else to do for you.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Very interesting. Any final thoughts here as we head into a terrific championship game tomorrow? I mean, it could be the last one we have for the season, Jared.
Yeah, I mean, this has been awesome season. Like, the fact that we have North Carolina and Oklahoma here, like, I don't think these are either two. Maybe we kind of thought that North Carolina would be here, but like, we never thought Oklahoma was going to be here, even in the preseason rankings. I don't think we had Oklahoma ranked in the preseason. And so maybe we did. I can't remember.
I think we had them low. I think we had them like 23, and then they bumped up right away because they played a really good opening weekend. And but eventually, by the end of the season, they were out. And everybody admits it. This team was 3-7 in May, and to make this kind of run with that kind of record and struggling, finishing 11th in SEC and being the only team standing for the conference here finals, it's crazy.
Yeah, but it's awesome to see. You got to give props. I mean, like, good for Oklahoma, good for Skip Johnson. Like, I don't think this thing's over. I think that North Carolina is going to come with some fight tomorrow. They're a scrappy team. Now I'll probably get this clip when Oklahoma wins their championship, because they're going to be like, yeah, we won. But
North Carolina dropped the first one to USC, and they were 2 outs in the ninth. 2 outs in the ninth away, and they could have lost and not even been here. So I'm with you, Jared. I think that this is a team that's going to fight. They're going to push to the last out. Like, we didn't see it today, but that doesn't necessarily mean indicative of what's going to happen tomorrow. I think that they were kind of saving themselves and realized that they were in a bad spot today with the weather coming in and everything else. I think that they go all out tomorrow, and I think that we see a different team. I think we see North Carolina take tomorrow. I think we push it to game 3.
Yep, I agree.
All right, man. Perfectly excited. Let's get into it tomorrow. And for all you fans, we're going to be doing a recap as soon as that game's over as well. So thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you guys again soon.